This is Eddie. This is week 4, day 1 of my 30-day HCG Diet video blog. The last 3 weeks I lost 27 pounds. Some of that, of course, was water weight. I want to point out that every morning I take a multivitamin and I drink about a gallon of water a day, which seems like a lot, but it's only about 2 cups an hour. I also try to get some physical activity, go to the gym, take a walk, very light activity, because consuming 500 calories or less a day can make you feel weak. And I have been sleeping very well. I drink a cup of herbal sleepy time tea at night, and it seems to work really well for me with this diet. And in the evenings, I prepare meals for 2 because my friend George is doing this diet with me. So let's get started. Thank you. All right, here we go. Day 1, week 4. I'm going to load my needle with 0.05 milliliters of HCG. I'm going to sterilize the injection site and make the injection. I believe these are small insulin needles. Certainly not painful. It feels like a little prick. And then safely dispose of the needle. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to make baked cod Veracruz, a mock Veracruz sauce. It's tomato based and has cumin and onions in it, so I'm going to call it Veracruz. We're also going to have leftover cabbage, and to make the Veracruz sauce, I'm going to put half of that tomato and some cumin, smoky paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, caldo de pollo, which I mentioned last week is dry powdered chicken soup, and it should be delicious. This is Eddie. This is day 2, week 4. I've already loaded my needle with 0.05 milliliters of HCG, and I'm going to make the injection. Safely dispose of the needle. I'm going to make a goulash. Google says a goulash is a soup. I don't know what else to call this, so I'm just going to put everything in one pan. I'm going to chop up some chicken and get it browned, and then I'm going to chop up some onions and get them sauteed, and some jalapeno and some chopped garlic, and add the fire roasted tomatoes. I'm also going to put in a little bit of caldo de pollo, which is the powdered chicken soup that's so good. I'm going to add some cumin and some smoky paprika and some onion powder, and that should be delicious. And I'm also going to make a salad. All right, so I'm making a chopped salad again. I'm going to put leftover green beans, some cilantro, some broccoli, and I'm going to add some mustard greens and some leftover iceberg lettuce, and I'm going to dice up or slice up a small apple, and then I'm going to make a dressing. It's going to be great. Salad dressing, it's really good, it's really easy. I've also got a glass of mayo infused water, or mock wine. So here we go. You put a garlic clove in, and then some chopped onion, and some rice vinegar, and some stevia. And some onion powder. You probably guessed that because I put onion powder in everything. And then you blend it up. Oh, I'm also going to add a dollop of Greek yogurt. It's 0% fat, and it's delicious. Didn't have a spoon handy, so we'll just do that. It's the morning of day 3, week 4. I'm going to make the morning injection. I guess everyone has noticed the videos in this week have been much shorter. Didn't want the videos to be 30 minutes like they were in weeks 1 and 2, since they're all so repetitive. All right, I'm going to dispose of the needle safely. Get about the day. This is Eddie. It's day 4, week 4. I've already loaded my needle with HCG and I'm going to make the injection. I also wanted to note that there has been a change in routine. A relative passed away, so we are going to travel to a distant city and be surrounded by food and drink that are not allowed on the diet. So it's going to take a lot of willpower, and I'm sure we can do it, and I'll keep you guys posted. Safely dispose of the needle. Thank you. As I mentioned this morning, we're going out of town for a funeral, so before the road trip across the state, I'm making an omelet for brunch. It's going to be 6 eggs, 2 whole eggs, whites and yolk, and then 4 egg whites only. I'm going to put onion, tomatoes, and broccoli in it. Should be delicious. A good break from coffee and an orange for breakfast, which is what I usually have. All right, let's go. So I've got all the vegetables mixed in. I'm also going to add some of this really good onion powder. For years I've used onion powder, and I buy it normally in a can or a jar, and it's great. But I went to the local health food organic store and found they sell it by the bulk, and it's powdered, of course, as all onion powder is, but it's exceptionally good. It's different than the kind you buy off the shelf in a jar. I'm going to add that to the omelet frittata, as well as a little bit of smoky paprika, and of course salt and pepper. Good morning, this is Eddie. This is week 4, day 5. I've already loaded my needle with 0.05 milliliters of HCG, and as I have said, we are in a motel, and I'm getting ready to do the morning injection. Carry on. Week 4, day 6. I've already loaded my needle with 0.05 milliliters of HCG, and I'm going to make the injection. And safely dispose of the needle. All right, it's weigh-in day, day 7, week 4. Still at the hotel. It's the morning. I'm going to weigh in the morning rather than the evening because I might get a more true read. Let's just see. 18.2. Day 7, week 7. I've loaded the needle. I'm making my injection. Loaded the needle. I'm making my injection.
Just a tremendous way. We still don't know what the end of the road is. We know the North Koreans haven't
Had a little bit of weight loss this week. Not as dramatic as the previous weeks, but I'll take it.
And they're still willing to talk, and the process seems to at least be moving in the right direction. So I think we should all.
Dinner. We got back from the funeral we went to. I'm cooking fish for dinner, as you can see, and I'm also I bought some small pearl onions, and I added some onion powder and some caldo de pollo, and I also added some smoky paprika, a little bit of soy sauce. They should be delicious. They're frozen pearl onions. Also gonna make a salad. Thanks. It is the 29th day, the morning of the 29th day, and I'm getting ready to make the morning injection. I've already loaded the needle. And then safely dispose of it. This is Eddie, and tonight for dinner I'm going to bake some chicken thighs, and I'm also going to cook some asparagus, and I'm going to have a nice salad. And for the chicken thighs, I'm going to make a sauce, kind of a dressing, out of some buffalo ranch sauce, Lee and Perrin's Worcestershire sauce, stone ground mustard, just a touch of yellow mustard, and some rice vinegar, and of course my old standby onion powder and a little bit of smoky paprika. Should be delicious. So I'm making my hot mustard sauce for the chicken thighs that I'm cooking. I'm going to put some stone ground mustard in a little mixing bowl, and add a little bit of yellow mustard, not much, and add my hot buffalo ranch sauce and some of the Worcestershire sauce. And the rice vinegar. And I'm also going to add a bunch of onion powder and some of the smoky paprika. I'm going to stir it all up. Oh yeah, I'm going to also put in a packet of stevia. Mix it all up. It's going to be delicious. So for this salad dressing tonight, I'm going to make my go-to onion-based salad dressing. It has raw onion, sweet variety of onion, and pepper, and onion powder, and oregano, thyme, garlic powder, some basil, rice vinegar, and I put it in the handheld immersion blender and blend it all up. Didn't have any fresh garlic tonight or fresh basil, which makes it twice as good, but we'll go with this. It should be delicious. Some of the 0% fat Greek yogurt to give it a little bit of a body. And continue to blend it. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but Good morning, it's Eddie. It's been 30 days. This is the last day of the diet. 4 weeks and 2 days. And I'm getting ready to make the morning injection. And so once again, I'm going to load my needle with 0.05 milliliters of HCG. There is some HCG left in the vial, but I talked to the people at the clinic and they said that 30 days was plenty. At any rate, that was the last injection. I'm going to weigh myself this morning for a more true read, and I will wait till this evening for the big reveal, like any good cheap movie. And breakfast is going to be once again an orange and a cup of coffee. Maybe something special for dinner tonight. Thanks for watching. So it's day 30, the last day of the diet. I'm going to make a special dinner. We splurged and bought 2 small lobster tails and some scallops. So I'm going to cook these lovely scallops and lobster tails. I have some blackened seasoning that I'm going to put on them. I'm going to make a sauce for them out of fresh onion, and I'm going to use Greek 0% fat yogurt, a little bit of ginger, and a bunch of mustard powder, some fresh lemon, and a little bit of rice vinegar, and some fennel seed. No, I have star anise to put in that. It's going to give it a kind of a licorice flavor. Also going to make a salad with apple, lettuce, tomato, and onion, and probably use a low-fat store-bought dressing, and it should be good. Oh, I'm also going to put a hard-boiled egg into this sauce to kind of give it a deeper, rich flavor. So the sauce for the lobster and scallops will have the fresh onion, mustard, ginger, a little artificial sugar, rice vinegar, and garlic, and some star anise. Should be good. So I sprinkled some blackened seasoning over the lobster and the scallops, and I parboiled the lobsters just for a little bit because they were thicker than the small scallops and they would cook a little faster. At any rate, I'm going to add some pepper and then bake this in the oven. It should be wonderful, along with the sauce. Yay! So I got the star anise, the onion powder, the onions, the egg, the garlic, mustard powder, some ginger, all in my little blender, as well as some fresh onions. And I'm going to blend it all up. It should be really good. All right. And I mentioned the rice vinegar, didn't I? All right, here we go. I'm going to chop up some onions in my handy dandy onion chopper that I demonstrated, I think it was last week. It's pretty cool. You turn the crank and it chops the onions. Can't do it one-handed. So I'm going to caramelize these onions, and then I'm going to mix them with this cauliflower. I'm going to cook the cauliflower till it's really soft, and then I'm going to mash it up and put some caldo de pollo, which is the powdered chicken soup that's so good. I'm also going to add some diced green chilies and a lot of onion powder, of course, and make a mocked mashed potato, perhaps. At any rate, it's going to be delicious. Directly into the same pan that I cooked the onions in. The onions didn't really caramelize. They started kind of getting burnt, I guess, by not putting oil or butter in there. They have a tendency to blacken like that. But at any rate, I'm going to put the cauliflower in there. And I'm also going to put some smoky paprika in there. And, sorry for the shaky video, one-handed. And I'm going to put some of the caldo de pollo, and then I'm going to add the green chilies, and good. Maybe I'll start off with half a can of green chilies, we'll see. I'll mix it all up. It has been 4 weeks and 2 days since I started the diet, and I started at 248 pounds. And 2 days ago, at the end of the 4th week, I was at 218. and today I'm at 217. That's another pound, and that's a total of 31 pounds from when I first started. Fantastic. Well, this is Eddie, and that's it. 30 days. I lost 31 pounds. Thank you for being with me on this journey and putting up with me, all the bad photography and bad scripts and questionable food. But I lost 31 pounds, and of course everyone's weight loss is going to be different, and I hope whatever route you take, this can be helpful, and be healthy and be safe. Thank you.